David Lynch, Stanley Kubrick, Quentin Tarantino, David Fincher, Terry Gilliam, Wes Craven, George Miller, and Robert Rodriguez. Each name mentioned has such a distinct and unique style to the point where you could view one frame from each director and you would know who directed it. When I was younger, it took me a while to realize that video game directors could do the same thing, making their own unique look and feel. For instance, Hideo Kojima, Shinji Mikami, Suiri, but the one we're going to focus on for the next few months is Suda51, Mr. Strawberry. What happens when you put Robert Rodriguez, Beat Takeshi, and a porn director in a blender? You get No More Heroes, an immature, gory, action-fueled spectacle that only someone like Suda could accomplish. Released in 2007 for the Wii, a few years later on the PS3 and Xbox 360, a Switch port in 2020, and most recently on the PC in June of 2021. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's get into this. In No More Heroes, you follow Travis Touchdown on his quest to become the #1 assassin in North America. After winning a beam katana in an online contest, you start off at number 11 but slowly work your way up with the help of Sylvia Christel, a woman who works with the United Assassins Association. She motivates Travis to become #1 for two reasons. One, because he has now made himself a target for other aspiring assassins. And two, if he becomes #1, then she'll have sex with him. If you think there's more to this plot, then you'd be wrong. There are actually a few moments where they throw in some deep emotional scenes or some insane plot twists, but I feel like they put them in as a joke knowing that no one is taking this game seriously. I mean, honestly, how would you react if an old lady who is hard of hearing takes her shopping cart and transforms it into a 20-meter long cannon that shoots lasers? Or a samurai schoolgirl trying to avenge the death of her never-before-mentioned or seen father? No More Heroes can be summarized the same way John Carmack described Doom back in the day. It's like a porno. No one watches it for the story. That's not saying the story's bad. Far from it. It's a hilarious balls-to-the-wall romp that never lets up. No More Heroes is an action hack-and-slash with a semi-open world style and minigames. When Travis isn't chasing down his next opponent, he's completing part-time jobs or fighting challenges when he's not renting movies from the movie store.
This is Diane from Beefhead Videos, just calling to let you know that one of the videos returned yesterday wasn't one of ours. It doesn't have a label on it, but it seems to be a recording of a guy humping a pillow. The video you should have returned was, How to Please a Woman in Bed 101 Part 2. Please return it to us soon. Thank you.
Or pumping iron at the gym. The combat is fast-paced and somewhat easy, but always satisfying. Once inflicting enough damage on an enemy, you can perform a finishing move by flicking the right thumbstick in the correct direction. I play the Switch version, which lets you either use the classic Wii style controls by swinging your remotes around, or with the Pro Controller thumbsticks. Enemies can deflect your attacks, but Travis can get around this by switching between high and low attacks, or by using melee attacks, each with their own respective button. When he staggers an enemy with a melee attack, he has a chance to use some good old-fashioned wrestling moves to deal immense damage, especially to bosses. The more enemies he kills and side jobs he accomplishes, he gains money, which you need to use to purchase upgrades to your beam katana, strength, health, and combo upgrades at the gym, buy different clothes for Travis, and most importantly, to purchase entry in the next assassination level, with each level becoming more expensive than the last. Now, this could sound repetitive. Luckily, you unlock a new challenge mission and side job with each successful assassin rank you achieve. Side jobs include collecting coconuts, filling up cars with gas, clearing a beach covered in landmines, or capturing escaped poisonous scorpions. Most challenge fights consist of beating all the enemies within a time limit, beating all enemies without getting hit, or baseball. Travis can eventually even purchase beam katana upgrades from Dr. Naomi from damage increase and battery life output. Instead of just button mashing, Travis needs to keep an eye on his katana's battery. The battery will drain from doing attacks and blocking enemy attacks. Once it gets too low, you have to jerk it off to make it recharge. I know what I said. Travis even gets different beam katanas throughout the game, which gives him different combos to perform or overall damage. Being the game is semi-open world, it would be ridiculous if you had to walk everywhere to get to where you need to be. Luckily, Travis has his own Akira-inspired motorcycle. He is an otaku after all. As I mentioned earlier, around the town is a movie store where Travis can rent wrestling movies to learn new wrestling moves to use in combat. He can train at the gym with his mentor, who for some reason is always trying to get you to remove your pants, for combo strength or health upgrades, with each one requiring a different minigame to complete. There are also secret balls scattered around the town that Travis can turn into a local drunk at the bar who teaches him new and unique moves. And that's pretty much it. No More Heroes gameplay is constantly switching up and staying interesting by almost never making you do the same thing twice unless it's by your own choice. This is especially apparent when doing the boss levels, as each location has a unique theme and enemy design, even if most are just long hallways and enemy gauntlets. The true blood in this game is in the boss battles. Each boss is of course a challenge in itself, where you can't just go button mashing expecting to win. You have to learn your opponent and their moves. This is especially apparent in the final boss, where the difficulty jumps up like you would not believe. No More Heroes was created shortly after Killer 7 and retained a similar visual style, a cel-shaded minimalist look while keeping everything flashy and grungy. The PS3 and Xbox versions had a more defined look with more shading and colors, but No More Heroes on the Switch and the Wii keeps to the old adage, less is more, as this style really helps keep the game feeling like a mix between an exploitation film and a comic book. The designs of each character is kept vastly distinct from each other's, but enemies do suffer the sin of using the same model over and over again, kind of like Agent Smith in the Matrix films. And now, again, I don't think this is an oversight. Instead, I view it as more of a statement or a joke. Each group of enemies is broken up into archetypes such as businessmen, jocks, soldiers, or random street thugs. Just faceless cogs following a paycheck like so many before them. If someone is supposed to be important, the game does a good job at letting you know. The game features quite the star-studded cast that you've definitely heard from one place or another. Robin Atkin Downes, who you might know as Kaz Miller from the Metal Gear Solid franchise, voices Travis in all of the No More Hero games. Paul Atiso voices the luscious Sylvia Christel, who also voiced Laughing Octopus in Metal Gear Solid 4. On top of this, some of the supporting cast even includes Josh Keaton, Steve Bloom, Fred Tatasciore, Kim My Guest, and D. Bradley Baker. Each does a fantastic job giving into the full absurdity of this game. Now, what would an action game be without its music? On top of hearing a guitar riff every time you enter a loading screen, the soundtrack is extremely diverse. From techno, punk, funk, junk, and hip-hop with the occasional orchestral vibe in between, each character has their own theme music, furthering the comparisons to wrestling. With what could feel like too much crazy, is this game just a hodgepodge of mess? Or is it like a fancy dish filled with all sorts of vibrant flavors too crazy that they just work? With the amount of fun I had with this game, fighting challenging bosses and learning their attack patterns, then cooling down from the action to do a side job or two, then back into the fray, excited and revamped for the next challenge, this game has no dull moments, from the first fight until the very end. I was gritting like an idiot the entire time, determined to be the #1 killer. Overall, I give No More Heroes a perfect 5 coconuts out of 5. For a nostalgia value, I remember first playing this on the Wii, but never finishing the game. With this latest release, I've been able to cross another game off my bucket list. As for games I would let my kids play, This game gets the absolutely hell no. With the vibrant and excessive gore, the not subtle innuendos, and overall theme of this game, it would not be a good game for kids to play, not until they're much older. Even at the age of teen, I would still be skeptical, but a bit more forgiving. Personally, I'd have to give this a 16 and above. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below for games you'd like to see on this channel, or what your thoughts on this game is. Hit that subscribe button and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subs, and ring that bell to be notified for future videos. I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye!